Tebow was born into the missionary life. His parents taught him from the beginning how important faith should be in his life. He ended up following in his parents' footsteps and did missionary work as well. He also followed in his parents' footsteps when he attended the University of Florida. He achieved a football scholarship there and became the starting quarterback as just a sophomore. He later made it into the NFL, but he never forgot about his faith. After every touchdown, he kneeled in the end zone to do a prayer. Tim Tebow has taken a lot of negativity because of it, but he has always stayed positive. Tim Tebow is a very honorable person. He is an exceptional football player, he is dedicated to his faith, and he is a good role model for sports fans. I mentioned that Tim Tebow played in the NFL and was often seen kneeling in prayer after a touchdown. He worked hard to make it to that level of professional football, so my first main point won't come as a surprise to you. First, Tim Tebow is an exceptional football player. According to Tim Tebow's website, he played for the University of Florida. There, he was their full-time quarterback at the beginning of his sophomore year. He was also the first ever sophomore to win the Heisman Trophy, which is an award for the most outstanding college football player. Tebow also won 2 NCAA National Football Championships in his college career, and after college, he was selected in the first-round draft pick in 2010 by the Denver Broncos. The CNN article from 2011 states that Tim Tebow led the Broncos to multiple victories. At one point, he even had 6 wins for their 1 loss. The Broncos were at first place in their division, and he led the teams to the most wins since John Elway. After the Broncos, he played with the New York Jets, where he suffered an injury and was benched. After that, in 2013, he signed with the New England Patriots, where he played preseason games, but he only made 5 passes and was sacked 4 times. Tebow was released from the Patriots almost right away, but he never let that get him down, and he still continues to search for opportunities in the NFL as a quarterback. Tim Tebow is an exceptional football player. Tim Tebow soared at the beginning of his NFL career, and even when times got tough, he never gave up. Tim Tebow was an NFL quarterback and famous almost all around the world. He never put his faith aside, and that brings me to my second main point. Tim Tebow is dedicated to his faith. According to a 2012 article in the Time magazine, Tim Tebow was an exceptional person on and off the field. On the field, you could tell that he was a strong, fierce leader to not only his teammates, but everyone else in that stadium. Tim shows how strong his faith is with everything he does, and especially in football. He knows he is lucky to be where he is today, and he dedicates his life to helping others who are less fortunate than him. He strives to help others and give to the less fortunate and give them hope. He has a big influence to athletes who pour their hearts into winning because he shows that life is much more than that. According to the CNN article, this talks about how Tim Tebow is religious on and off the field. Tim Tebow never let go of his faith, even with his biggest slumps in his football career. What he best became known for was known as T-boning. After every touchdown, he would kneel in the end zone and bow his head in prayer. He gave God 100% credit for all of his greatest accomplishments and where he is today. However, people started T-bowing as a joke. However, critics say that they claim that they criticize him for his football skills, but they actually criticize him for showing off his religion. They never let the critics go to his head, and he kept giving all of his glory to God. Tim Tebow is dedicated to his faith, and he never let any fame or criticism go to his head. He always stayed true to his faith and never gave up. Tim Tebow has an excellent outlook on life. He sets a very good example for others to follow, which leads me to my third and final point. Tim Tebow is a good role model for sports fans. According to the CNN article from 2011, Tim Tebow is not only a great athlete, he is a good person all around. He is a man of faith, integrity, and good character, and he changed the way a lot of people see sports and owes it all to his faith. He is happy that he could touch so many people with his faith and hopes he can inspire more athletes to give all their glory to God. We need more people to be like Tim Tebow. He is someone that you want your children to look up to and your daughter to marry. According to a Time article, which is a Time magazine which is widely known and is said to be very factual, for them to recognize Tim Tebow as the most influential person around the world, it is a pretty big deal. He is unashamed of his faith and the person that he is today. He not only thanks his parents, but also God. He believes he would not be anywhere near where he is today without them. He realizes he has accomplished a lot, and he seeks to help people who are worse off. He is truly an inspiration and a good role model for sports fans all around the world. Tim Tebow is a good role model for sports fans. Today, not many athletes, professional athletes, take time to show off their faith. Most would have had a hard time balancing between faith in their sports, but Tim Tebow does both. When we think of the most influential people in not only today's sports, but also in religion, Tim Tebow most definitely comes to one's mind. More men need to strive to be like Tim Tebow. He's a true leader and he never backs down. He strives to help others and puts them before himself. God bless him with such great talent in football, and he knows that. He wishes he could do more for the less fortunate, and he also opened a foundation to help communities in a time of need. He balances his time between his missionaries and football, and no other athlete has achieved what he has. He never gives up, and he spreads the word of the Lord to people who need it every day. Tim Tebow is a very honorable person, and he will be remembered as such because he is an exceptional football player, he is dedicated to his faith, and he is a good role model for sports fans.